If you no longer know what to write about, know your ideas for stories, and when you sit down to write, nothing comes up, then you're probably experiencing writer's block, and I know it's frustrating. This is why in this video, I will give you tips and strategies to get out of that rut and start writing again. Hi friends, my name is Mohamed and I'm a writer and I have a master's degree in creative writing. And in this channel, I demystify the writing process and talk about tools and habits that make writing joyful. First, before you take any action towards overcoming your writer's block, you really have to understand where is it coming from. For me, the first writer's block I experienced, which was very surprising, was right after my MFA program, my Master's for Fine Arts in Creative Writing. And it was, I think, because I spent 2 years just writing almost every single day at a very fast pace, because I had to submit 2 stories each semester and I was reviewing or even editing and workshopping other people's stories. So it was a very busy time and there was always deadlines and I was held accountable by my peers. And after I graduated, there was just this sort of silence that happens when you are in the movies and something scary is about to happen. And for a very long time, I did not know I was experiencing writer's block. I just thought that I did not have any more new ideas or fresh ideas to write about. I actually thought that, oh, this writing thing isn't actually for me. This is after getting a master's degree in creative writing and getting approval from people who are New York Times bestsellers, award-winning fiction writers who have told me you actually have what it takes to be a good writer. And there I was feeling like I can't be a writer. So for the first few weeks, I tried to write and then I just gave up and I thought, I just have to understand where is it coming from. And the thing that helped me was journaling. I will wake up every day and journal for about 10 to 20 minutes, just on anything that I can think about why writing is hard for me at the moment or why the weather is changing all the time. I just wanted to get back to that writing practice, to just do it every day, regardless of how I felt. And whether I'm writing something valuable or not, no one cares as long as I was writing. But then in turn, that helped me understand that the reason that I was writing is I did not have any accountability measures anymore. My peers were not there for me to feel like I have to submit something to them for them to read so that they can give me feedback. So that's when, after I realized this, I decided to text the group and I told them, hey, we just have to meet. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I just miss coming together and talking about stories. And we did that and it was like magic. When I met them, it literally gave me back that energy and I started writing again. But that also comes from the fact that you have to accept that you're stuck sometimes, that you don't have any more new ideas or that energy to write. And that's normal in the creative process. Everybody who is a painter or a writer or a musician will get to that point at some point in their career, maybe multiple times. And our responsibility is to understand that creativity comes in highs and its lows. And when it's low, just ride the wave and then wait until you are back at the top again. And Lama talks about this in her book, Birds by Bird, and she actually believes of not even call it writer's block. She doesn't want to even acknowledge it exists or gives it a name so that it can have a physical meaning in her head. But she also accepts the fact that when she can't write, then she just go back to journaling or writing anything so that she doesn't lose the writing practice, as long as she's doing the thing that she is passionate about every single day. The second thing that you can do is changing your environment, and this can be as small as just sitting in a different room that you are sitting in, going to a cafe and instead of writing inside your home, going to the library or going to your local restaurant, just for you to have a change of scenery and different feel. And it will also give you that sense of commitment that in this time I will be writing. Just like when you are going to the gym, you don't go there and play basketball. You are there to do the thing that the environment is set up for you to do. So maybe go to a library so that you can feel or commit to just doing the thing itself. And maybe it's not working on a story that you want to work on or come up with a new idea for a story, but at least you will get there and even journal or do anything that has to do with writing. At the very least, go there and just read a book. And if you want to take a notch up, then sign up, pay for a writing retreat. Those are one of the most helpful experiences that you will get, because you don't have any responsibilities or even social obligations outside of just sitting in this house or cabin or whatever the retreat is at and focusing on your writing. And then sometimes there are other people who are there, and just being in the presence of people who are writing, who are passionate about writing, will give you the energy and the spirit for you to sit down and do the thing that you are passionate about. For me, to be quite honest, going on writing retreats is very, very hard. I'm married, I have a child, so setting up that time and getting the time right is very, very hard for me. But then to solve for that limitation is I just get on Zoom with a few of my friends, and I actually did this for about a month or so. We stopped doing it now, but I'm more consistent with my writing, so I'm not worried about it too much. But when I wasn't, we would just log in on Zoom on a link that was repeated on our schedule, and we will write for about 30 to 45 minutes every single day, same time. We didn't even speak. We would just log in, wave to each other hi, and just start writing. But just that environment of doing it with other people makes doing the thing a lot easier than when you are alone. The third thing that you can do is set manageable goals. A lot of time we want to just go from a non-published author to a New York Times bestseller in the first go. And the way we want to do it is write 1,000 words every day for 3 months, get the first draft, rewrite the first draft to be the second draft, find an agent, a publisher, and then we go 100 miles per hour. But life does not work that way. You can't go from not writing to writing 500, 1,000 words a day. You have to piecemeal it. You have to give yourself baby steps for you to build that stamina back up. So if you are used to writing 500 words a day, 300 words a day, whatever the case might be, then the first day that you decide, all right, now I'm gonna get back to my writing, write 100 words a day. Write less than what you think you can achieve. Have even sometimes less, because what you wanna do is you wanna trick your brain into making a habit first, then pressing yourself to write longer or doing it for more. Even if it means beginning the first day of writing just one sentence, that will be enough. I remember the first time I ran a 5K. I think that's like 3 point something miles, and I did not practice. I mean, I was playing soccer regularly, so I thought, oh, I'm a soccer player, I can just run 5K and I'll be fine. And I ran, crossed the finish line, and I was going to throw up. I mean, I was struggling because it was a different pace. It required a different type of breathing sequence. I mean, it was a whole lot different experience than playing soccer. The following year, I signed up for a 10-mile race, and I told myself I am not going to just go into that 10 mile without preparation. So the first day I prepared training for that 10 mile, I literally just walked around the block. It took me like 5-10 minutes max, and that was it. I was dressed in my running gear, walked around the block, and came back home. The second day, I actually ran around the block. At some point, I was just running multiple blocks up and down. By the time the week of the race came, I was running 15 miles straight, non-stop, all around the borough. I live in the Bronx, and it was one of the best lived experiences that I had with just breaking down goals into small bites and then building stamina over time once the habit is solidified. The fourth thing that you can do is use writing prompts, and I cannot emphasize the magic of writing prompts, especially really, really good ones. A writing prompt will tell you, write about a character who is struggling with depression because his wife just passed away. Write for 500 words, write for 10 minutes, whatever the case might be. I remember during my master's degree, my writing teacher would give us a prompt from this book called 3 a.m. Epiphany, and we would just write whatever prompt she gives us. And literally some of the stories that I wrote for my other class, this was literature class, I think, and the other class was workshop. My workshop stories came from writing a prompt in the literature class, because it just inspires you to write about a very particular specific scene, and from that scene you start seeing, oh, this actually has the potential for it to grow. And some of my best scenes that I've wrote came from writing prompts that later even friends told me, oh, you should even develop this into a full short story. The last thing that you can do, which I have mentioned indirectly, is just build your routine. Focus on building the habit itself. Forget about getting new ideas, forget about completing the novel that you are stuck in the middle. Get back to the writing practice every day, and that will slowly translate into getting back that high that you had, in the past, whatever past that you were in. This means waking up every day at the same time, writing at the same time, especially for just a short while. I know we all have busy lives and sometimes our schedules are moving around, but if you can, as much as possible, just pick a time of the day where you think everybody is, busy or asleep, they can't get in touch with you, cannot take your attention, and just write for 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour if you really have it. And it doesn't have to be a story, it doesn't have to be a novel, it doesn't have to be working on something that you are already stuck on. It can be just journaling. Get back to that writing practice, build the habit back up, later worry about stamina and getting new ideas. And remember, journaling about your life, your struggles, your stresses, what you are going through, the people you hate, the people that you love, is also experience that your characters are experiencing or will experience when you write about them. So it's not that you're writing for nothing. You are both developing your sense of identity, your sense of self-awareness, but you're also writing about things that down the line you might use as content. It might not be the same exact thing, but if you have already had the experience of being in a very bad, stressful place, then your main character will also experience that same thing soon when you write about them. So you're doing both. You're building the habit back up, and you're also getting better at writing for the writing of itself. That's it for this video, and if you enjoyed it, then you will surely enjoy this video about a book that will teach you more than a writing degree. I guarantee it. More than 80% of a writing degree is in one book. $10 will save you 2 years. Go watch it. In the meantime, thank you for watching this one, and until next time.